Imagine a wind so cold. It's not just air. It's a force of nature, whispering through valleys like a ghost of the glacier's past. This is not a normal wind. It's a cold, relentless breath from the mountains, shaped by ice and time, carving paths through stone like a sculptor with a blade. They carry stories of ancient ice, of glaciers that once roamed and shaped the world, leaving behind echoes in the form of valleys and winds. In this place, the cold is not just a temperature. It's a language, a rhythm, a slow, powerful force that carves the earth with precision. As the sun climbs, the valley awakens, and the wind continues its silent, unrelenting work, remaking the world one grain of sand at a time. Katabatic winds are gravity-driven, cold air currents that rush down from high elevations, often in mountainous or glacial regions. They're powerful, relentless, and shaped by the pull of gravity itself. These winds form when cold, dense air accumulates at high altitudes and begins to slide downward, gaining speed and force as it moves. They're not just cold, they're powerful enough to shape entire landscapes. These valleys are often U-shaped, a signature feature of glacial erosion. They're carved by the wind's abrasive force, which wears away the ice and rock over time. The winds don't just shape the ice, they influence the entire ecosystem, affecting melt patterns, ice flow, and even the movement of glaciers across the landscape. Understanding katabatic winds helps us see how nature's forces, cold, gravity, and time, work together to shape the world we see today. You might not notice them, but katabatic winds shape the very landscapes you walk through. They are the silent sculptors of mountains and valleys, carving paths that influence every river, every glacier, and every ecosystem. These winds are not just powerful, they're ancient. They've been shaping the earth for millennia, leaving behind clues in the land itself. Every curve in a valley, every ridge, tells a story of wind and time. Understanding katabatic winds helps us predict natural disasters, manage ecosystems, and even design sustainable energy systems. They're more than just a force of nature. They're a blueprint for the world we live in. So next time you stand on a mountain, look down at the valley below. You're witnessing a process that's been unfolding for thousands of years, and it's still shaping the world we call home. Millions of years ago, the ice began to move. Slowly, it carved the land, shaping valleys with an unrelenting, ancient purpose. The weight of the ice pressed down, and the valleys deepened. Time became a silent witness to the slow, relentless power of nature. As the ice moved, it carried with it the memory of a frozen world, a time before humans, before history. It shaped the land as if time itself had no weight. The ice didn't just shape the land, it shaped the stories of those who came after. It created landscapes that would inspire, challenge, and define the course of human civilization. And so, the ice continued its journey, a silent force, a master sculptor, shaping the world in a language only nature understands. Imagine a mountain so tall the wind can't escape. It slips down the side, like a whisper turning into a roar. The wind is cold, and it's fast. It's like a breath from a sleeping giant, but it's strong enough to shake the world. The wind doesn't stop. It keeps going, over and over, until the mountain gives in and the valley is born. This is how valleys are made, not by water, but by wind, by the power of the mountain and the patience of the wind. The story begins with a towering glacier, frozen and ancient, sitting high in the mountains. Its surface is a mosaic of ice and rock, shaped by centuries of time, waiting for the wind to stir. Surrounding it are steep, exposed slopes, where snow and ice are locked in place by gravity. These slopes act as a natural dam, holding back the power of the mountain's breath. Beneath the glacier, the ground is solid and cold, but the air above is still. The wind must first find a way to escape the valley, and that path is carved by the slope itself. As the wind begins to form, it's weak, and scattered, a whisper against the ice. But it's the beginning of something powerful, something that will shape the land in ways we can only imagine. This is the setup. Stillness before the storm, a glacier holding its breath, and the mountain waiting for the wind to rise and begin its work. Once the cold air starts to settle in the valley, it begins to lose heat to the surrounding rock and ice, creating a dense, heavy mass of air that clings to the valley floor. This dense air, being heavier than the warmer air above, starts to slide downward, gaining speed as it moves through the narrow confines of the valley. The wind, now a force of nature, erodes the rock and ice, shaping the walls and floor of the valley with each passing season, each passing year. It is not just air moving. It is the slow, patient shaping of a landscape by the will of the earth itself, through cold and time, through wind and stone. As the wind gains strength, it begins to spiral down the valley walls, carving away the ice in a precise, almost hypnotic motion. The force is concentrated at the bottom, where the wind is strongest, creating a natural funnel that amplifies its power. This twisting motion is what makes katabatic winds so effective. They cut deeper than straight winds ever could. The ice doesn't just break. It is shaped by the wind, forming the dramatic sculpted walls of the valley over thousands of years. This is the clever twist. The wind doesn't just blow. It twists, carving the valley with a precision that only nature can achieve. Beneath the surface, the wind isn't just blowing. It's sculpting. It's a slow, relentless force, driven by gravity and cold, shaping the land with a precision that feels almost alive. These winds start high up, where the air is thin and cold, and they fall like a curtain of air, picking up speed as they descend into the valley floor. The wind doesn't just wear away the land. It carves, it etches, it reveals the hidden layers of the earth beneath the ice, like an artist with a chisel and time. This is the quiet power of the earth. Not loud, not violent, but steady, persistent, and utterly transformative. It's the wind that makes the glacier speak. Imagine a mountain is a giant, frozen waterfall. The wind is the water, rushing down the edge, not because it's pushed, but because it's pulled by gravity. The wind isn't just moving, it's gathering speed, like a river that's been allowed to flow freely, unimpeded by obstacles. It's not the wind that does the carving. It's the force of the wind as it picks up debris, sand, and ice, and carries it like a sculptor's chisel. The mountain isn't resisting, it's giving in, slowly, over centuries, to the relentless, invisible hand of the wind. So, in the end, the wind is the sculptor, the mountain is the canvas, and the valley is the masterpiece, carved not by force, but by time and gravity. Before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.